Welcome back, YouTube, to another episode here at WILDMAN Lifts. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now on today's episode, I'm here with my buddy Frank, and we're training the carnivore, and it's another episode. So today we did conjugate style. What did we do today, Frank? What'd you do? I didn't do anything.
We're set up to do the 1 rep max in the back squat. And we also throw in the deadlifts on this day and a couple other little accessories. But the back squat, that's what we were really hitting.
It definitely taxed you a lot.
Yeah.
So let's pop into today's workout and we'll see what we did today. Alrighty, so I know this is Training the Carnivore series, but I'm actually working out alongside of him in the backyard in my bullpen. And I'm doing what's called Tough 6, which is another program that I created, but it's something that is for beginners, and I'm kind of dialing it back and trying to do a deload. So I'm actually combining the back squat, and I'm also going to be doing that axle bench press, and I'm just going to be rotating in between. And that's just because when I'm in deload mode, I really don't like to go to the gym if I know it's going to be light and I have to back off. So I'm going to be doing 140 pounds on the axle bench press, and over to the side you'll see that Frank the Carnivore is doing my conjugate program, and he's starting off at the same weight that I was. So we're going to be working out in tandem with one another, so try to follow along. I'm going to do the very best I can too to help you guys follow along. And for my third exercise, I'm going to be doing the box jumps. So I'm doing back squats, axle bench press, and box jumps, and that's combining 2 Tough 6 movements together. And Frank's just going to be doing conjugate. So I told him specifically, warm up with 135, and then every rep after this is only going to be 1 rep. And you'll see why that comes into fruition later. And I was just going to follow along and do the same weight that Frank was doing, at least until I got to my top sets. And I'm going to be doing 6 reps the entire time, going up in weight. I'm going to be doing 6 reps both on the back squat and on the axle bench press, and I'm going to continue to go up in weight with the axle bench press. So eventually I'm going to get to a tough 6 on back squat, a tough 6 reps on the axle bench press, and then doing those box jumps in between, just to remind my legs that they're alive, they're awake, to build that explosiveness, build athleticism. And hopefully doing all this cumulative work, by the time I'm done working out, I'm going to be feeling pretty tired, because typically when I do a deload like this and do tough 6, and I'm only focusing on 1 compound movement at a time, it usually isn't enough. So the goal was to tucker myself out while deloading. So hopefully that comes into fruition as well. Now, I believe on the last 2 videos, I've shown you the beginning phases of conjugate, where Frank was working to a 3 rep max. And I think I showed the deadlift and the overhead press. So now that was wave 1, where he was doing a 3 rep max with a variation lift every single week. Now I'm going to show you, because we're in phase, or I guess wave 2 now, I'm going to show you what that looks like, which is a 1 rep max on a variation lift. But we're doing the barbell this time because, believe it or not, the barbell is going to be a movement that is rotated amongst the various lifts. So you can do conjugate method with just a barbell. There's nothing saying that you can't. It's just better if you can mix it up and try different implements to try to vary the lift, so you're able to lift heavy more consistently every week. So the last time Frank did back squats, I believe it was a 3 rep max with a box. So now he's rotated back at the beginning of the cycle with wave 2, and he's doing just a regular barbell movement for the first week. So when I'm structuring 1 rep max for wave 2, I just tell athletes, warm up in the beginning with the lighter weight for reps, but then when you're doing a 1 rep, because you're going to be doing so much volume later, you only need to do 1 rep as you go up in weight. And that's just to save yourself. That way you're able to get your true 1 rep max for that variation lift, and you're not gassing yourself out before you get out there. And we're not doing giant sets still, because I want him to get familiarized with conjugate and its structure before he starts doing giant set. Otherwise it might be too much. And my poor little legs right here, they haven't seen the sun all winter. So now that it's like warm spring now, I'm able to wear, board shorts again and gym shorts. So that way, hopefully, I can get more sun exposure, because vitamin D is super important, and you can see my legs are extremely deficient in vitamin D. So I am trying to fix that. I am trying to put some more color back into my legs, as they are in my arms and my face and the rest of my body. But this was a good start for today. It was a nice, pretty day, a beautiful spring morning. Got my buddy with me. and we are just working out and hitting the weights really hard. So really couldn't ask for more than that. Now, one thing that was kind of funny was, since I was working all those reps on those back squats, I wasn't able to use very much leg drive on the bench press because my legs were just getting tired. So as I'm normally used to using leg drive, even with 240 pounds, I could do it with my chest, it's no problem. But I usually use leg drive, and I was finding out that my legs just didn't want to work because of all the leg movements I was doing, including these box jumps. So I ended up kind of relying more on my chest than I was on my legs, which is kind of nice because it makes it a lot harder. So this is coming up to Frank's second to top set. We didn't know how this was going to go, honestly. He had taken a lot of time off. So this is 305 pounds, moved really slow. But the most important thing was I asked him how he felt. And he said that even though it moved slow, he felt fine. So we decided to go and match his PR from like a year ago, which is 325 pounds. And doing all that volume work leading up to it, pretty impressive that he was able to get to this point. But you can see he kind of gets really stuck in the middle. And he started to go down about an inch after he was fighting it. So I had to help him. And he was laughing about that. He was like, "Why'd you help me?" I was like, "Dude, you were starting to go back down." And he was like, "I was?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I just saved your life. Like, you should give me a hug right now." But when you see the video, you can see he was going down in a lot. And this was my top set for my tough 6. So I wanted to hit 315 just for 6 reps. And doing all of the bench pressing, box jumps, and doing back squats with 6 reps each all the way up, I was feeling it. So my conditioning was going through the roof right now. My body was screaming at me because it was tired. So this was a mission accomplished because I typically wouldn't even want to go to the gym if I had to do a tough 6 and get to 315. That would have been too easy if I didn't throw in the bench press. You could see I had to take a break there because my legs were so tired. And since my legs were so tired, when I got to my top set with the axle bar, which was 280 pounds, the first 3 reps, I was able to use leg drive. So I was like, okay, good. You know, these are going up pretty fast because my legs were working. But then after that 3rd rep, it gets a lot slower. And that's because my legs just stopped working. So I'm not using leg drive at this point. I'm only using my chest. And so at the lockout, it got really sticky and it was tough, but I was able to hit that. And now for the volume set, we're going to be doing 3 sets. And we took a percentage of what he hit that day, which I counted 325 because I believe that he had it. Once I grabbed the bar, it started to shoot up. So then I was like, okay, you've got this. So we took a percentage off of that, and we were doing 255 pounds. You can see just how solid these reps are, but this is really the heart of the workout. The workout right here, and Conjugate's crazy style, is this. It's once you've hit your top set for strength, then you take a percentage of that, and you can do one of 2 ways. You can either do it like in 3 sets with certain rep schemes like I have it, or you could just have a complete burnout where you just go to failure. So either one will work. I prefer this way because I feel like that if you just burn out, it takes a lot longer to recover. So that's why I like to divvy it up into sets. Now you'll notice for his 3rd set, he's not going to go to parallel. So the first set he did for volume, I believe he was going like just a little under parallel. And then his 2nd set, he was going to parallel. But because his legs were so tired and so fatigued, and he was really just doing mind over matter at this point, he was only going about maybe an inch above parallel. And you know what? That's perfectly fine because you're just supposed to burn out at the end. And if that's what he wanted to do, and that's what he felt comfortable doing, no problem. Now for the dynamic effort, because remember I told you I combined on the same days, we're taking a percentage of his 1 rep max, which is very low. And then we're going to be doing 3 sets of 10. So today, I think I upped it a little bit. I think it was 175, and I just told him do 185. But this is another way that you could do conjugate. You don't have to do your dynamic effort on a whole separate day. You could just do it on the same day, and it actually does carry over a lot. And I feel like that it was a better fit for me when I was doing conjugate. And I had him doing some weighted sit-ups in between. And I was also having him do the bike rig as well to flush out that lactic acid in his legs. And then we moved on to accessory after that, but I didn't film any part of that. But overall, Frank said he felt a lot in his legs, so mission accomplished. Well, that looked like a brutal exercise. I was doing a tough 6, and I was combining the bench press and the back squat together. And I must say, I'm feeling rather fatigued. How'd you feel about doing conjugate today?
I felt really good. I was sick for like a week. Nothing crazy, just a little sick. My body was stiff. coming into it, so I wasn't sure what I'd be capable of. And then we actually made an attempt on an all-time PR. I didn't hit it, but it felt pretty good. I was able to fight it for a moment there. We tried at, what was it, 325?
Yeah, and it went up. I said push it, and you fought for another inch, and then gravity took over.
And then gravity took over. But I felt good. The only thing that I ended up suffering from a little bit was the stabilizers on the inside towards the back of my legs. They started giving out a little bit. So when I was doing the volume, that was a little more difficult because it was just harder to get to the proper depth and stabilize the leg.
Yeah, totally. And really, the whole point of conjugate is the volume portion. That's really the most important part of the workout. But you did it, and yeah, you almost hit all-time PR. So not bad for coming back into it and just like, oh, let's see where we're at.
Oh, absolutely. And you even made the observation that what I was doing for after the 325 attempts, what I did for volume was my 1 rep max when I first started working with it.
It's true. It's true. And then you did the volume portion, that weight that used to be your all-time PR, that you did that for 3 sets of 5.
Mhm.
Very impressive. Yeah. Well, that concludes today's workout, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Thank you.